Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.
Welcome back, everyone, to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. With me today, I have a very special guest, Porshia Brown from PS Practice Solutions.
Hello.
Hello, Porshia. You're coming all the way from Virginia Beach.
Yes.
That's crazy, but also a wonderful opportunity to have you on our podcast today. So go ahead and tell me if you guys can't see Porshia, by the way, she's wearing a beautiful lavender blazer, which I love, and it has a little flower on it and a little pin. Big fan of flowers. I think I've told this story before. My name means beautiful flower in Greek. So every time I see people wear flowers on their blazers, love it.
Beautiful.
Huge fan.
Awesome.
So Porshia, tell me, what do you guys do?
So PS Practice Solutions, we are a credentialing and full revenue cycle billing management company. And one of my main things is the consulting with those services. So we can tailor those services to what you need, but we also give you the mentorship, the consulting, and how to do those services with your staff.
That's actually really awesome because a lot of businesses really don't know what they're walking into. So having that overly generalized version of your services kind of gives them a glimpse into it. And then having the added value of individualizing it is just even better for them because every business is different.
Right, correct. I love that you said that added value.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always have everybody laughing in here because they're like, you use terms sometimes where I'm like, man, why didn't I
use
think
them,
of that?
girl? Because I know I'm right with you.
So tell me, what do those services include? Give me an example of maybe one of your favorite clients.
So right now, one of my favorite clients, they're in a whole other state, Washington State.
Wow.
And they're a big behavioral health, mental health company, therapy service.
I love that.
And I love their work. I love that they want all people to have access to mental health, no matter what, if they have access to the insurance and no insurance, they want to make a way. And that's why I continue working with them. You know, I'm like, I want to help you be successful. Let's do it. You got new providers. Let's get them going. Let's get them in there. So what I do for them, my main thing, I started out with doing their code auditing. And that was through a partnership that I have with another behavioral billing company. And that's another big thing about what PS Practice Solutions does. We are all about partnerships. And it's not just, we don't just do all this by ourselves. No one is, it's no I in team type thing.
Exactly. That's what I love, the collaboration aspect. So many people are like, well, I don't know how to do this. So we're kind of trying to figure out. The great thing is about being in a community of businesses is that you actually get to collaborate with so many businesses that can fill in the gaps of what you don't have either the manpower to do or the capacity to take on.
Correct. And that's exactly what it was. It was something that I was getting myself into with the coding aspect because my background is healthcare administration. And when I got into it, I had to figure out, do I want to do long-term or do I want to do acute care? I'm like, I love taking care of people, but I did not want to come into, this person, passed away and things like that. It's not right. It's a tough thing. So I decided to go the acute route that just comes out with so many options, so many avenues to go into. And I'm like, okay, so what do you like to do? Scale it down. Okay. I like training people. I like figuring out where the money went. I like figuring out why we didn't get paid. I like figuring out how this payer operates. How can we work well with them so that we can continue that relationship to continue getting paid for the services that we're doing, So I decided to go into billing, revenue cycle management. Yeah. Then it opened up credentialing. And I'm like, okay. I realized that my big thing is I'm a talker. I love talking. I love communicating. I love whether it's email, chat, talking on the phone. I'm going to get those answers. I'm going to build that relationship so we can get things going.
That's actually really awesome because I don't think people realize how important it is to have that social aspect when it comes to talking to people about money. Money can be a really sensitive topic, especially when it comes to like invoicing or billing purposes. Yeah. I can tell you how I suck at talking about people about money. I run this program, the Ignite program at the BBB, and everyone's like, you gotta ask for money, you gotta ask for money. And I'm like, I am not the person to come to get to ask other people for money.
Yeah.
I'm the person come to do a podcast,
right?
participate 100%, but not have somebody ask for money. I can't do it.
Yeah, so I'm totally with you on that one, but I'll ask where it went.
Yeah. Right?
I'm great with doing my research, making sure I, cross my T's, dot my I's. And when I get on that call, I'm able to present the history and find out where's that gap at. You know what I'm saying? How can we fill it? How can we get it corrected? How can we get, my providers paid, and how can we, stay in compliance? That's another big thing that sets me apart. I'm big on making sure that we're compliant with the billing, we're compliant with the credentialing, because if you stay compliant, you stay in network.
That's actually really important. I think when my follow-up question to that was going to be, what is one of the biggest issues that your clients come across?
Yeah. It's the credentialing.
Yeah.
It's the
it always is. It always comes down to that.
It always comes down to the credentialing. If you look up a claim that hasn't been paid, why? The provider is not in network anymore, it's happens so quickly because after you get that contract signed, you just going and going and going and going and going. And that's why a billing service, whether you're outsourcing them or you're hiring them in the office and things like that, they are so essential. We are essential, and we're here to help you and assist you with that. My goal is to keep the providers focused on patient care.
Yeah.
Let me deal with the administrative tasks. That's what I love to do.
The administrative tasks are difficult.
But I love it.
Yeah. It takes, and I don't think people really can wrap their heads around it. My dad owns businesses. And so the administrative aspect is always difficult because it's a task my mom has taken on. It is easier for her to handle that background than it is for him because he's more like front of house. I like to deal with the everyday hands-on stuff. And so having that person to kind of help you with the administrative stuff when you have no idea what you're doing, well, let's be honest, most business owners don't. Mm-hmm. They have no idea what they're doing. They know how much their services cost and who is paying, but that's about it.
Correct. And that's okay. That's okay. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
We're here to coach you through it. We're here to fight for that, service fee to make sure you get what you're asking for or close to it. It happens.
Close as you can get.
As close as you can get, correct. And, as long as you are saying, like we said, it goes down to the communication. Once you set those relationships with the provider relations analysts, the other credentialing specialists that they have with those pairs, they are the people that you want to have in your back pocket when things go crazy, because it's happened before. I had like 17 providers that needed to be credentialed in 30 days.
No.
Oh, yeah. Before January 1st. And I was like making sure, I'm like, so what you're saying is you need 17 providers in there in 30 days? She's like, yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you do it? Oh, that was a challenge. I'm up for the challenge.
You're way nicer than I am. I'm a time person. I will literally have a conversation with, be like, do you understand the concept of time? Number one. Number two, do you understand how much work it's going to take to get that basically impossible task done in the very short time period that you've given me?
Yeah. It was a whole thing like, let's do it now and talk about the time after. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I knew it could be done because, like I said, I built those relationships. So the only thing I had to do was just, not finesse it a little bit, but just
little sweet talking.
A little bit, because you're making them work hard too. You're making them double time it also. And you don't know what they've got going on. These are large payers that you're talking to, and they've got a backlog of people that are trying to get in. And here you come, you got your 17 providers that need to be in 30 days, and it usually takes about 60.
They're probably like, you owe me your firstborn child.
Basically. Like buy you a coffee or something. Hey, thank you for your services, but it's that it can happen. if you do your research and you see that, hey, there's a way to get this expedited, let's work together. Let me make sure I'm communicating correctly. And that's another thing. Like when I'm working with these the healthcare providers, my main thing is getting them to understand there is a way to communicate with each other. Yeah. It's not always a barking order type thing.
You're telling me, I was gonna say, it's probably better that you're on the phone with people. It's easier for them to relate to a more soft-spoken, kind voice than it is for somebody who's like, I need my money.
I get that too. They're like, I've had one client emails to me about, what's the ETA on that? I'm like, yeah. The ETA? Oh, okay.
The ETA it doesn't exist yet. So
right now, I'm like, okay, well, 24 hours.
There you go. Sometimes some people need a timeline to understand, like, this is the time that it takes to see results for something.
Oh, yeah. It prompted me to create, like, that's another thing that I do. I have free education on my website. I publish a blog, and it lets people know. I started out with talking about the credentialing process. I'm like, I have to put it out there. And it wasn't because, I was getting, so many of these situations where they weren't understanding the timeline. Yeah. It was because, it was important for healthcare providers to know, like, because some of them do it themselves. They credential themselves because they don't want to outsource the help yet.
Which can be a headache.
Mm-hmm. It can. Yeah. So if you're going to do it, let me show you how to do it the right way. Yep. And you're going to need to know why it's so important to be proactive before you decide to start scheduling. It's not going to happen overnight, especially if you're a new provider. And after January 1st, all these things change. Yeah. You have to keep up. It's not the same as what was going on last year, so.
That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize like, even here at the BBB, we check everything annually. Because every year something changes, something's different. Yeah. Even if it's like a period that wasn't there before it gets added at the end of a sentence, you still need to know that period was added.
Correct.
And a lot of people do not understand that. They're like, well, I didn't have to do it 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. That means things have changed 3 times over now.
Correct. Right? Because now, and then, you never know, those payers, they work with different vendors. Yeah. I just went through that like a few days ago. They're asking me to, why hasn't this happened? Why hasn't that happened? I do my research and I find out that insurance company is looking for their own vendor. So we've got to hold tight with them, So that's comes back down to the communication. You have to keep that information going to them. So when they do get back online with what they're doing, you're right there. And you're like, okay, I got you. You're first.
Connecting the dots, putting the puzzle pieces together.
Keep it going, please. Keep going. Don't stop. Just because there's like a little bit of a bump in the road, a little block there, is not going to be forever. Yeah. They're working as fast as they can to maintain their services to us, just like we're trying to do the same thing for our clients also.
Yeah. How can people get in contact with you?
So you can go on my LinkedIn. You can find me on there, Porshia Brown Coughlin, or PS Practice Solutions. I have 2 pages. You can also find me on Instagram, PortiaB15. You can also find me on my Facebook page, PS Practice Solutions LLC.
I love it. Porshia, thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone that is watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. It really helps the algorithm out. And of course, hit that notification bell so you can always get notified every time we post. And if you're listening on Spotify, please give us a follow and share the audio out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.